Watertown Whiskey presents reality after shows coverage of the NFL Weekly Preview Show with Survivor Legend Jonny Fairplay, Survivor 47's Gabe Ortis, and producer Bobby Goodsby.
Oh, hello there, wherever you're listening, however you're listening, joining us live on the Reality After Show YouTube channel or after the fact on the archived episode if you want to catch up ahead of Sunday's games. But we got some games going on tonight, actually. We're going to get into all that and all of these playoff implications as well. So many seasons die, so many seasons get resurrected in these last 2 weeks, and we're going to break them all down heading into week 17 of the NFL season. It's unbelievable how far we've come now. I mean, we are here at the very end. Some of these teams have not made it. Some of them are holding on for dear life. Some of them are sitting nice and comfortable. But we're going to get into all of it right now. As you heard, my name is Gabe Ortis, Survivor 47, joined by Survivor Legend Jonny Fairplay and producer extraordinaire Bobby Goodsby, righting the wrongs of last week's episode. So getting right into these games, as of the recording of this episode, it is 14-3 halftime for the Texans versus the Chargers. We had some games over Christmas. How do you guys feel about the Christmas games? Moving in on the NBA's territory. Are you a fan of it?
Snoop Dogg. I cried. I cried watching
the television. Watching Snoop Dogg.
I did 3 days of family. I had my two daughters, my fiance's son, her Meemaw. They stayed with us for a few days. They left. I was like, I am home alone. I'm Kevin McAllister. I am watching football, and I see Snoop. I see Martha Stewart do the lead in. I see Snoop do some classic Snoop, and I'm sitting there watching. And I just imagine, from age 8 to 80, Snoop Dogg talking about getting burnt by gonorrhea and slinging cocaine and weed, and people just happily watching. We got the K-pop Demon Hunters come out there. I know my 8-year-old's loving that. She'd already left at that point. And then we go back to more Snoop, and then we have Lainey Wilson belting it, and she loves drinking from the shoey when she's in Australia. I love that. And then we got the opera guys, literally tears pouring down my face. I love the Jack White Eminem Thanksgiving deal, but this for me as just a fan of music, pop culture, and Christmas, I thought it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wow, that is very high praise for the Snoop Dogg halftime show on Christmas Day.
Did you like it?
No, I did. I loved it. I thought it was great. I don't know if I was moved to tears, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was great.
I'm an old head. I'm a little sentimental. I went to a punk rock show last night with pirate metal at the end. I'm all over the place musically and stuff, but it was just a cool deal. I am co-signing the Christmas football because I don't give a fuck about the NBA on Christmas because that's the big deal. It's just like it's the NBA on Christmas Day and they're wearing red and green shoes and I'm like,
all right, let's watch some football.
I like the fact that it is something other than NBA to watch. The only thing I wish they could do is maybe at least for like the night game that they can flex that out where all three of these games were kind of nothing burger games as far as like playoff implications, except for, I guess you can say the Vikings beating Detroit and knocking them out, but Detroit was going to have an uphill battle no matter what. So
there's an issue. Here's the issue, Bobby. Christmas and Thanksgiving are traveling holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're flexing that out like a week out, you're fucking up. Like that. There were people flying to Texas for Christmas. They're like maybe weren't going to go to Texas for Christmas, but they're just like,
the Cowboys are playing, so they're definitely going to go.
I can go to the NFL game, and then you flex that out for fucking Cleveland. It's like, go fuck yourself. No one's going.
You knew when Netflix got these games, they thought these were 3 banger games. You got the Detroit Lions and Vikings that was literally the 14-2 game last year for the season ender, and then you got Dallas at Washington. Washington was in the NFC Championship. And then you have Kansas City, who was just in the Super Bowl, and Denver, a nice up-and-coming team. You thought this was going to be 3 bangers of games, and they ended up being nothing burgers.
And Minnesota with the white-on-white uniforms, my lawyer Bud came over. What's that?
They're called the Winter Warrior uniforms.
Oh, well, Bud the lawyer came over, and he was just like, the Colts. And especially with your nondescript quarterback with a shitty mustache, that is literally every Colts quarterback for the last 30 years.
This is true. This is very true. So I'll tell you what. Let's look at this game real quick. The one that Bobby brought up, the Vikings versus the Lions. The only one that had, like Bobby said, real playoff implications on Christmas Day. Could you have a more embarrassing display if you're Dan Campbell and his Lions? I mean, 6 turnovers in a must-win game against an inferior divisional opponent that is already out of the playoffs. No, Bobby. And you go and you put out a performance like that. Not only are they probably a worse team on paper, fully healthy, they're starting their 3rd-string quarterback at Max Brosmer, who is not an NFL caliber player. And the Vikings defense went out there and manhandled Dan Campbell and his Lions, which is the one thing you're not supposed to be able to do against Dan Campbell and his Lions. Bobby, what did you take away from this game as a Vikings fan? Was this just this was fun?
3 total yards of offense?
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Well, as a Vikings fan, going into this game, and honestly, the last 4 weeks, where was this team all year? Because this is the most frustrating part, is watching this, knowing that the whole time we've had no hope. Apparently, when there's nothing on the line, all of a sudden we just know how to play football. But it was very frustrating. It's good to see that Kevin O'Connell hasn't lost the locker room. That gives me hope going into next year. JJ McCarthy obviously didn't play in this game. And Max Brosmer did. I think he netted what was it, 12 total yards on offense?
Maybe less than that.
I think it was either 3 or 4.
It's insane, right? But the story is this defense. This might be, and I know I'm a little biased. You guys let me know I'm crazy. Might be arguably the best defense in the NFL right now. Right now, the last 4 weeks, this defense has been absolutely dominant. Texans and Denver can make a play for that, absolutely. But I think that this defense, the way they're playing right now, they're playing lights out. And if we would have had this defense, or at least a capable offense all season, my God, what could have been? Joe Burrow.
Well, I mean, if about to say, if that doesn't give you the motivation to have a win now mentality going in to this upcoming season in 2026, I don't know what does. I mean, you got to push the chips to the middle for somebody like a Joe Burrow if they're on the market, which isn't guaranteed.
Yeah, and I will say this too. This defense, it was really good to see them just be so active out there. The 6 turnovers were amazing. And as for the Lions, they got dominated by us the first time we played them earlier in the season. Like, this isn't like a new thing. Everyone was talking about Gibbs having a huge game. He only rushed for like 20 yards in week 8 or whatever when we played him, and he did nothing in this game. So it's just crazy.
It looks like they dialed up the Commanders play scheme for the playoffs last year. Wasn't the Commanders that just assaulted that Detroit front line?
Yeah, and it's just funny because it just going forward, it gives me hope for this team. Hopefully we can get the quarterback in position. But it's weird going from 5th overall pick to, after 4 weeks, we are now 3rd division placement and like pick 20.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And I think the big story coming out of this game narratively is a big indictment on Dan Campbell. Ben Johnson left the team, and he is now the 1 seed in the NFC, while Dan Campbell is not in the NFC playoffs anymore. So I think you probably, if you're Detroit, you're still with your guy, but you're looking at this and be like, I don't know if our secret sauce is still here. And I don't know if Dan Campbell's the guy to lead them into that. You also lose Aaron Glenn, who's obviously doing pretty poorly in New York with the Jets, but it's still a patchwork team of what we saw last year from the Lions. Moving into some of these Sunday games, I know we got a big one tonight. I'm going to save that for the end as we let you folks go. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who have clinched their spot in the playoffs, are going up against Phil Rivers and the Indianapolis Colts, who currently sit with a 3% chance to still make it as a wild card team. Imagine if a few weeks ago I told you that the Baltimore Ravens would have a higher chance to make the playoffs than the Colts would in week 17, but that is the case. Not a lot of people have talked about the Jags either. They have a path to the 1 seed. I mean, this is an unbelievable story happening very quietly in the NFL. The Broncos lose either this week at Kansas City, which they didn't, or week 18 against the Chargers, and the Patriots drop one more game between their last 2. Jacksonville will be the 1 seed in the AFC. Bobby, is this fool's gold that we're seeing here with the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence, or are they a real threat to go make a run at this thing?
I don't think so, man. Like, they're continuing to do it week in and week out. I keep thinking, okay, this is the game where they take the step back. This is the game where they take the step back. And honestly, they've been on a 6-game win streak. And yes, they have had some inferior opponents. They do play in the AFC South, or they play the Titans twice, but the Colts, yes, they've had an epic collapse, but it's because also the injuries that they've had, especially to Daniel Jones. But they beat the Chargers 35-6. They went 1-1 against the Texans. They beat the Niners. They beat the Chiefs. They who else was there? There was someone else. The Broncos. They beat the Broncos last week. Like, this team is for real, and they're offensively. Trevor Lawrence is looking like the pick that we thought he would be at number 1.
Yeah,
like he's looking amazing.
Johnny, when you look at this Jaguars team, are you perplexed by anything that you see, or rather, are you enticed by anything you see other than Trevor Lawrence and his luscious hair?
Well, there is the hair of it. And I did tweet our new haircut for 2020.
I saw.
Ready. Are you stoked?
I am very stoked.
You go first.
The world by storm. We'll do it at the same time.
Well, so here's what I don't like the Jaguars. I want to like the Jaguars. If I bet on the Jaguars, they lose. If I don't bet on the Jaguars, they win. I am Jaguars they are not friends of my wallet. I don't like I don't like the uniform. I feel like they could have really cool uniforms. They don't. Here's where I'm at. I am picking the Jaguars to be the team. I'm saying they're not fool's gold. I'm saying they're great, just in hopes of a collapse. Because whatever I say is the opposite, so I am here to jinx them. They are winning the next 8 Super Bowls.
I mean, my thing with the Jags is they're such a bullshit franchise, right? Like the constant talks. I know they have like a wrestling chairman as their owner. They're constantly in talks to go overseas. They're such a young, they are a bullshit franchise in the purest sense of the term. They have no business existing. But if they were to win a Super Bowl for that reason, I would get behind it. It's a flyover year for everybody else. Nobody is moved other than the other teams in their division. If the Jaguars lift a trophy. And I think that Lawrence is very rootable. I think they have a lot of rootable guys on their team, but it's just such a weird, lame, just under the radar franchise that them coming out of nowhere and making a run would be quite funny to watch. We have to acknowledge.
They moved to London. I'm rooting for them.
I mean, right?
And I'm going to London to watch NFL.
Jags winning the Super Bowl would be so on par for this season as
yes.
Honestly, that tracked. Yeah. So, hey, who loves the Colts? Well, fuck you. All right.
All right. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the only people that are moved by this, right? Yeah. Looking at some of the other big games this week with implications towards the end of the season, the flip side of this equation, the Giants taking on the Raiders in a fight for the number 1 overall pick. This is a 2-13 team going up against a 2-13 team. I'll ask you this. Who do you think needs this pick more? Who's in a worse place that can fix some holes that they have if they can manage to lose this game and get the first overall pick? The Raiders or the Giants?
1000% it's the Raiders. The Raiders need the number 1 pick. They need to make sure they get Fernando Mendoza. They see him as there's a reason why they're benching Crosby, even though Crosby's pissed about it and wants to go out there and play, because they want to get that number 1 pick where they don't have to worry about the Giants trading it and allowing someone else to get Fernando Mendoza.
Sure.
So, I feel the Giants are like a couple pieces away from at least the NFC East.
Yeah, I think that you look at the Eagles this year and they're winning a lot of games, but they're kind of doing it in this, skin of our teeth every week. And that can win you a Super Bowl. If you do that 4 times in the postseason, then you could be lifting the Lombardi at the end of the year, but it's not something that's sustainable year over year. And I think that division is more up for grabs than it's been in the last 3 or 4 years. And the Giants with the number 1 overall pick that they don't need to spend on a wide receiver, that they don't need to spend on a quarterback, could be something really dangerous going into next year. Even if the Raiders get that pick and they get Mendoza at quarterback or anybody, I'm not putting them on my radar for 2026. No. The Giants with one of these picks, I'm looking at them as a team that could make a lot of noise if they can stay healthy and these guys can bounce back.
Yeah. Give me a sick receiver or running back or defensive player of the year, like whatever. Just some. I feel like there's a couple of holes you can plug, and that NFC East is just so wide open.
Yeah, I know it's really bad.
With a healthy Malik Neighbors and healthy Scadaboo and healthy Dart, I really think that the sky's the limit with that young team.
Decent D-line, pieces on the O-line, and fun to root for. A lot of guys just playing ball,
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Looking at Sunday Night Football going into this week, tomorrow night, the game that probably has the biggest implications for the playoffs, excuse me, this week in Week 17, the 49ers taking on the Chicago Bears. Niners need to win this if they think they're going to win the NFC West. Need to win this if they want to stay in the 1-seed race. And if they win
Purdy needs to give Jonny Fairplay fantasy points in a
there you go
football championship. Are you kidding me?
I mean, right now, if they can win this game tomorrow against the Bears, they would only need a win against the Seattle Seahawks to win the whole division, and they're sitting with about a 33% chance to get the 1 seed, assuming that they win this game. I mean, this is huge. I think this is also another big moment for Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and the Bears. I like this is a team that keeps winning these big games with big plays from the quarterback. If they can do it again here, it's like all bets are off. Are the Bears the favorite in the NFC to go represent the conference in the Super Bowl if they can win this game?
Absolutely not. I still feel you talked fool's gold earlier. I feel like the Bears are 1,000% fool's gold. However, I would rather them drop a game right now than drop one first round, because I feel like that's what this team has written all over it. For first round loss,
one and done.
Yeah. So, but you drop this one now and then win 2, 3, 4, whatever.
Sure, yeah.
I would love the Bears to win it all. Like, that's my hope. January 8th, I'll be in Chicago. Go to SurvivorTix.com. See me and Rachel Riley. Watch the Premier Traders. I love Chicago, but I feel like there's an expiration date on this team. Isn't that good?
So I think
we can all honestly admit they are not as good as their record at all.
I think that this team has a hyper-athletic quarterback who can make multiple big plays in multiple big moments and a great head coach. Vegas agrees with you, though. The Niners are 3.5-point favorites going into this game. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that the sports books agree that they're not buying into this Bears team. I just see this Caleb Williams guy keep doing it. He keeps making big throws when he needs to at the end of these games.
I love it, but don't waste it. Don't waste it tomorrow. Save that shit.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I see Vegas looking this as kind of like a winner or like just anyone can win scenario, because it's only a 3.5 point, depending on the line, favorite for the at home San Francisco 49ers. So realistically, it's like a neutral field. They're just 50-50. But I agree with Johnny. I think this is a fool's gold team. I think they can win a playoff game if they say have to play the Bucks or Carolina, or if they get in and have to play Green Bay, who's really beat up right now. I think that they could get the job done against either of those teams. However, I don't think they're beating the Rams. I don't think they're beating the Niners. I don't think they're beating the Seahawks. I think that Caleb will make a play or two that keeps him in the game, but then he's going to make a big blunder at some point that's going to take him out of it.
All right, let's round this out here with the two big AFC North games that are happening. The one happening tonight is going to be my Baltimore Ravens at 7-8, taking on the Green Bay Packers at 9-5-1 at Lambeau Field. Ravens need to win out if they're going to make the playoffs. This is a playoff game for them tonight, and it looks like there's no confirmation yet. Lamar listed as doubtful. Looks like they're going to be going to war with Snoop Huntley as the quarterback. But all is not lost, as the Green Bay Packers are without their star quarterback, Jordan Love. Malik Willis, who's dealing with a shoulder injury, is going to be getting the start tonight. Ravens technically alive, 6% chance to make the playoffs. Excuse me. Not only do they need to win here tonight, they need the Browns to win tomorrow against the red-hot Pittsburgh Steelers led by Aaron Rodgers. This game tonight is a microcosm, I think, of the whole season, right? You have two backup quarterbacks going at it in a Week 17 game where both of these teams are fighting for their lives to make it into the postseason. Now, actually, let me correct myself. The Packers, due to the loss that the Lions suffered yesterday, on Christmas, are clinched for the playoffs. Yeah. The NFC West, NFC North is still up for grabs, though, as they're chasing down Caleb Williams and the Bears, who we just talked about. Mm-hmm. So this is a weird game. It's super weird. It's going to be 13-10. Whichever defense can force one turnover is probably going to win the game. If a defense can force 2 or more turnovers, I think that team is all but guaranteed to win. This is a really weird game that, again, is just all the stars are injured this season. All the quarterbacks are injured this season. Whoever is healthiest is probably going to make their run to the Super Bowl. And you have 2 backups going at it in a primetime spot with seasons on the line. I mean, Bobby, when you look at this matchup, is there anything that excites you about it?
It's such an ugly game. This could have been such a fun, exciting game with playoff implications on both sides.
Love versus Lamar.
And we're just not going to get that. And so, I mean, Hundley is serviceable. Malik Willis has proven that he's serviceable. But at the end of the day, both these teams are beat up. And as much as I think that Green Bay, when healthy, can be a very, very good team, they're just too beat up right now. And I think even with all the injuries Baltimore has, I think they're going in there knowing that this is their playoff lives. Playoffs start today. I think Baltimore gets it done. Now, don't count that check, because every time I bet on Baltimore, they end up losing. So sorry, Gabe.
Let's also not forget that arguably the best game this team has won all season was with Snoop Huntley against the Bears a couple months ago.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel? You're a Baltimore fan. Like, what's your thoughts?
I think that this is a game that the Ravens win because they always just bullshit their way into the end of the season. Yeah. And I think that they win this game because they call a really conservative, precision, tight game with Snoop Huntley, just like they did against the Bears. I think this defense is still playing quite well, despite the recent sputter that they've had after a win streak. I think they're going to force Malik Willis to turn the ball over a couple times, and I think having a couple extra possessions to kick a couple extra field goals is going to decide the winner of this game, where I think that Snoop Huntley has more snaps under him than Malik Willis does. I think he's going to be more careful with the ball. I think that they're just going to turn the ball over less, and I think that's why they're going to win, and I think they have the better running back in Derrick Henry to Josh Jacobs. And I think that this is going to set the stage from a narrative perspective for a huge game tomorrow in Cleveland when the Steelers go there to take them on. And I think the Steelers lose that game. I'm not going to lie.
You keep saying that, but they keep winning it.
They are going into this game with no DK Metcalf, TJ Watt. Myles Garrett is chasing history with the Cleveland Browns, trying to set the single season sack record against this hated team in Cleveland, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Shedeur Sanders is going out there still trying to make his mark as a young rookie quarterback in this league. Here's what I honestly think is going to happen. I think the Ravens are going to win tonight by 6 points. I think it's going to be 16-10 is how they win this game. Under. I think Cleveland is going to have the ball with under 2 minutes left, driving to win, and they're going to turn the ball over, and the Steelers are going to win. That's how I think the Ravens season dies, to be totally honest with you. Now, if the Ravens were to win tonight and Cleveland were to win tomorrow, I think the Ravens go into Pittsburgh like bats out of hell. John Harbaugh's job is on the line. I think a lot of jobs are on the line in Pittsburgh going into that game, where I think Mike Tomlin is a lot safer than Harbaugh is going to be. And I think whether they have Lamar or they have Snoop Huntley, I think they go into Pittsburgh and they win if the playoffs, if the division is on the line. I struggle to see that happening because I don't quite trust Cleveland. I just think that they're too susceptible to making big mistakes. I think Aaron Rodgers is playing the best football he's played all season, which nobody thought was going to happen in December, and yet here he is rolling right now. So that's kind of how I look at the picture for the AFC North right now. Those are kind of all the games I wanted to get through as we gear up for Saturday Night Football. I'll ask you guys this as we get out of here. I know Bobby's got a hard out coming up. How do you guys feel about these late season Saturday games?
Go ahead, Johnny.
I love watching football. So, but at the same time, I like college football. Like I had a 6-game parlay, Gabe. I hit 5 out of Pitt lost to ECU. A $20 bet for $300.
Oh,
could have cashed out at 160. I'm like, nope, I want my 300.
Bobby, are you a fan of the Saturday games? I know you got to work tonight, but how do you feel about it?
I mean, I like it, the fact that it's something to watch at work. But I also I couldn't care less. Here's the thing: if my team was relevant, I care. If I had fantasy implications, I care. Without that, it's kind of like, hey, it's just football on Saturday, which is cool. I get to wear my jersey at work.
I think it's cool late in the season when all these playoff seasons or all these playoff berths rather are on the line that it all happens on Sunday. I like that like you come to the end of a Sunday and all the dust settles and then you kind of look at where you're at and you look at where the league's at. If I was in charge, if I was the commissioner, I would have week 18, every team kicks off at 1 p.m. And everybody's season's on the line. You don't know what's going to happen. And then every game ends. And then you look at what you have left going in the playoffs.
I like that.
That's how I would do it. They'll never do it because all these different networks want all the broadcast
time zones.
Yeah. But if that was no
object, don't talk about time zones. It's TV rights. You're selling that 4 o'clock space. You're selling that 8 o'clock space.
Yeah.
So
and that's how soccer does it. They have the last week of the season, every single team plays at the same time, and when it all ends, the dust settles and you see who finishes where on the table. So I think that would be really cool. But unless you guys have anything else to say about the end of the season here, or rather the end of this week 17, yeah. I mean, I covered all the games that have playoff implications. Is there anything else you're looking at going into this week?
I'm good. Is Snoop doing the halftime show tonight? Or
no, Snoop's playing quarterback tonight.
Oh,
Snoop Huntley.
Oh, there you go. Snoop's playing quarterback. Well, I'm going to finish watching this game. I'm going to watch some AEW wrestling.
Hell yeah.
Whatever this pay-per-view is, I'll be on the Pro Wrestling Boom podcast on Monday talking about it. And with that, happy holiday, happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody. We will be talking to you at the beginning of the next new year. Bobby, it looks like you're frozen right now on my screen, but I maybe he went to go get a drink.
Bobby is getting a drink. He is heading to get a Watertown whiskey. So with that, let's hear from Watertown. Wow. Bobby is in charge of pressing that button.
Producer extraordinaire, Bobby Goodsby, everybody.
And he is dead. Bobby, why did you die?
You can head over to watertownwhiskey.com right now to go get the best whiskey in the land, put it in your hand and take a swig. It is delicious. My roommate, who is a raging alcoholic, gives it his highest marks. You could not find a more reliable source for is the drink good than that man. And the drink is good. He likes it. So go over to watertownwhiskey.com to go get some whiskey made with natural.
Watertown Whiskey, guess what? Philadelphia Eagles back-to-back. Here we go, Super Bowl champions. You see, Daniels, it is the Commanders' year. Woo! Super Bowl bound, Watertown Whiskey. It's back-to-back. The Chiefs are going back, and they're winning this time. Watertown Whiskey. Y'all boys heading on down to 8 Mile. Lions got this. Watertown Whiskey. It's the AFC's year, but it's the Chargers. There's only one thing I gotta say. Watertown Whiskey. Jets, Jets. Shut on. Hartford Whalers, we're going to the Super Bowl. They're close to Watertown, right? There's one thing we can all agree on. Watertown Whiskey. Escape the ordinary. WatertownWhiskey.com. Drink responsibly.
Well, if that wasn't an endorsement, Bobby literally left because he was out of Watertown Whiskey, is racing to the liquor store right now to replenish his supply. I mean, sponsors.
Before he starts his shift at work.
Before he starts his shift at work. You're not supposed to make that game. But, sponsors, if you're looking for an endorsement, if you're looking for someone to talk about your product, this is it.
This is the place to do it.
Hit me up, Jonny Fairplay at me.com. Get your sponsorship ad read in. We will knock it out. Like, Bobby literally left the podcast to buy a bottle of Watertown whiskey. It was so enticing.
How could you blame him? And I'm about to go do the same thing. Johnny, get us out of here.
I'm gonna go smoke some weed. But with that, thank you, everybody. You guys are the best. And what button do I press? This one. Here we go. Or is it? Bye.
And we're still live.
Well, I pressed the button. There we go.